Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Head Chef Mom. I'm Kendall Lawrence and I am so happy that you're here again with me today. And today I want to do a super quick, super easy, super savory ground beef pie. Very cheesy, very delicious. So come on in and let's take a look at our ingredients. Okay guys, so I first want to say that this is a recipe that I found a little bit over a year ago called Italian ground beef pie on Pinterest, and I will put a link to that recipe in the description box. Now that recipe was very, very basic. It just simply called for some ground beef, some spaghetti sauce, the crescent rolls, some mozzarella, and some Parmesan cheese. That was it. It was it. And when I made it the very first time, I wasn't too impressed. I thought it was really bland. So I made it my own, and ever since then I have loved it. And so I will put my recipe along with the link to the original recipe in the description box. Okay. So I have here some ground beef. This is 8515. And the recipe called for spaghetti sauce. I didn't have any, and I didn't have enough tomatoes to make fresh tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, I'm sorry. So I opened up a can of tomato sauce, and I added some dried basil and some dried oregano and some dried thyme, a touch of sugar and pepper, and just whatever I wanted, and made it to my taste. So you can use your own spaghetti sauce or your favorite jarred variety. I have some crescent rolls. I have some sour cream. I have some crushed red peppers. I have some shredded mozzarella cheese. I have some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Use whatever kind of cheese you want to use. This is the cheese that I have on hand, and every single time I've made it, I've just used whatever cheese I had in the fridge. I have some diced onion. I have some diced bell pepper. I have a couple of tablespoons of butter. I have some sliced up garlic cloves, thinly sliced. Optional, I like olives. I know everybody doesn't like olives. I have a few olives that I've sliced up. That's completely optional. All of it's optional, really. You make it the way you want to. This is just supposed to be a guide. I've got some fresh parsley here. I have some salt and some black pepper that I'll be using to taste. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. Okay. So my ground beef is browning. It's not quite done. There's still a little bit of pink in there, but I am going, and I've removed excess fat from the ground beef. I am going to place my onion and my bell pepper and my garlic in the pan, and I'll go ahead and add my parsley too. What the heck? Okay. And I'll saute this for a couple of minutes. So my ground beef and my onions and pepper and garlic and parsley have been sauteing along, and they have softened up. So I'm going to add my spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce. And I'm just going to get this mixed in. I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer for just a few minutes, and I am going to taste for seasonings after a couple minutes. Okay, so my ground beef mixture has been sauteing, and I tasted it for seasonings. I added salt and pepper to taste, and I am going to now fold in my olives. I could have done that earlier, but I didn't. I'm doing it now. And I'm just gonna get this stirred in. I am going to lightly oil the bottom of a baking dish, and I'm gonna add my ground beef mixture and be right back. Okay, so I have all my ground beef in my baking dish. And in this bowl, I have added my mozzarella cheese, my sharp cheddar cheese, and my sour cream. And I've gotten it all mixed up with a wooden spoon. Not the same wooden spoon that I browned the meat with, a different one. And I'm just going to get this all turned out onto the top of my meat. And I'm going to use a spatula and spread it out. So my cheese mixture is pretty well spread out on the top. So now we want to add our crescent roll crust. Okay, so my crescent roll crust, when you roll it out of, or when you take it out of the can, it's in these triangular shaped perforated pieces that you just break apart. Now, I don't have a traditional pie pan because I don't bake any pies. So, you know, if you had a pie pan, you spread it all out on top of the your ground beef pie, and then you lay it over the edge of the pie pan, and you would, you know, take a fork and make those pretty little marks around the edge of the pie pan. But I am just doing the best I can to get this thing covered. And it may not be the prettiest ground beef pie that you'll ever see, but it may just be the best tasting one. So after I have this all covered up and stretched out to the best of my ability, I'm going to stick it in my oven for, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm going to stick it in my oven for about 15 minutes until it's beautiful and golden brown, because, you know, everything on the inside is done. I'll be back. Okay guys, so it's like 1 second later and I'm back. I wanted to show you one crucial step that I'm going to do. Now I've got this all stretched out and placed as neatly as I could on the top of my pie, and I have some melted butter. I haven't popped it in the oven yet because I forgot this step. I have some melted butter here, and I am just going to brush this whole top of the crust with my melted butter. Then I'm going to pop it in the oven until it's nice and golden brown. All right guys, so here is our finished product. It looks so lovely to me. I want you to let me know in the comments below whether or not you think this is as gorgeous as I do. Wow, that's one pretty ground beef pie. So let's give it a taste. Okay guys, so here's what our cheesy, delicious ground beef pie looks like on the inside after I've taken a slice. And I did let this cool for a while, but because of the tomato sauce or the spaghetti sauce, it is a little bit runny, so it's not as neat looking as I had hoped, but it does still look delicious. And here's my slice, and I'm gonna give it a taste. That is really tasty, very delicious. I love the sharp cheddar and the mozzarella together. I can taste the vegetables, the onions, the peppers, the tomato sauce is perfectly seasoned. This is a really great recipe. You might have preferred some Parmesan with it or sprinkled on top of it, but you know, make it your own. Guys, this is wonderful. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, and go feed your family. I love you guys. Bye-bye.